Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Views from the 22 live on the scene. It is the best weekend in football, if you haven't heard. 2021 playoffs, although it is the year 22. And Vic, since it is views from the 22, it is the 22nd year of the 2022nd year of our Lord. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. All I know is I'm excited. I'm feeling good. I got pizza on deck. I got two great games on deck for the day, two more tomorrow. It's cold. I am not going to say how cold it is, but it is cold outside.
Oh
So
yeah.
cold, your face starts to crack the minute you
Mm-hmm.
step out your vehicle. Okay, it's that type of cold. So my behind will be staying inside my house until Monday, 6:05 a.m. Vic
Mm-hmm.
Jr., talk to the people, baby. How you feeling?
Yeah, man, it's at about 9 degrees out here in the Northeast in an undisclosed location, as Mo would like to put it. This is that, yeah, it's that weather that your knuckles start to crack. You know what I mean? You got the little,
Yeah.
you need the cocoa butter,
Yes.
that deep lotion, deep moisturizers. Um, I'm just excited for this first game, man. Like Bengals Titans, I'm excited to see what the Bengals got. Can't wait to bring y'all some of the notes that we have and some of the matchups that we feel are going to be whether one team wins or not. It should be fun, man. Like I'm just excited for this first game. To be honest with y'all, I'm not even worried about the other three. If I catch them, I
Wow.
catch them. Yeah, I'm just being honest, man. This is the game that I'm. I wish it was a more prime time hours, but I'm pretty sure everybody is finding a way to get in front of the TV for this game. Because to me, yeah, this is the most exciting matchup of the weekend for sure.
This game,
Come on, man. Look at this guy.
isn't it Bengals Titans?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that is not that is come on, Vic. Vic.
man.
Vic.
Listen,
Vic.
y'all gonna sleep on this Joe Burrow,
Eh,
what I mean, led
well, I'm
football
still
team.
sharing the link. So explain to me why this is the game of the week for you before we introduce you know what? I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait. Vic, please, the floor is still yours,
so
sir.
so you got a situation here where you got one of the best passing offenses against one of the worst passing defenses, but then you got one of the best rush defense offenses against one of no. I'm gonna stop right there. It's a weak, rush defense for the Bengals, but I think that passing game is going to be enough. I really do. I think the passing game for them, I think they're going to come out passing. I think there's going to be a 70 to 30 pass to run ratio for the Bengals in this game. As much as a proponent of the rushing game, I am. I think that the Bengals are gonna pass a lot, and it's going to be exciting. I'm just excited for the players and the Bengals roster. I guess that's what it is. Because quite frankly, I just it's just fun, man. I like it. It's refreshing to see a new young football team in the playoffs like this.
Okay. So it sounds like what you're saying from a logistical standpoint, this is your matchup of the week.
The most exciting matchup for me.
From a logistical standpoint.
I guess, yeah,
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 because
sure, yeah.
this game, I let's just be real. I don't think this if the NFL wanted to rank their games this week,
Mm-hmm.
this would be number 4th on their list.
I mean, clearly it's the first game, bro. It's at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
not necessarily. It's just it's more it's that's not why. It's just it's schedule and seeding is why things come the way they come. You
really.
know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the Raiders. Like it's not like they waited. It's more, but you might be right. That's
I
probably
mean,
why they got it on 3 o'clock on a
yeah,
Saturday. But 3 o'clock on a Saturday is a good time for football fans to watch a football game.
that's debatable. I think Saturday
I
night is a
guess.
good. I mean, it's gonna be ridiculously cold in Green Bay tonight. Like, why not move that game to a closer, warmer game? Warmer time slot, I guess, where the sun is still kind of up in the beginning of the game, and they can get their passing game going. Tonight's game is going to be tough. It's going to be tough because it's going to be, I think, -1. I saw last. So,
I hear you.
The Bengals and Titans, they're in Tennessee. It's going to be a little bit cold, but not too cold for a night game.
All right. They call him GZ, the Frosty Snowman, Germstradamus, True Man, False World. He's got a lot of names, but there's only one true. How you feeling, Germ? Talk to the people.
So, while we were listening to Vic struggle,
oh, that's what you're gonna do now?
Identify.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do now?
Yeah. As we listen to Vic struggle, I was just sitting here, just chilling, just getting ready for the show. We got some good notes here for the game. Of course, I mean, the best thing about this is I think we will get a much more competitive week.
I agree with that.
I hope every game comes down to the fourth quarter. And man, I'm just excited for the week, man. And I got some great little talking points here for us. And I just think that we have a lot of good notes that we've collected individually, and we bring it together like this on a logistical Limp Biscuit type of level. So
just
I'm here for it. Shouts out to
link.
Everybody in the comments. We got First Lady, we got April in the comments so far. I know everybody else is coming. A little bit more banter here, fellas. This is going to be an interesting situation. So I'm gonna give y'all an interesting question. If we had to say that like a total amount of points scored on each day, right? Tomorrow we got the Chiefs, Bucks, Bills, and Rams. Over under total for those games at 125. Total for all 4 games. 125 points for all 4 games.
Wait. Say that one more time.
All two games.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So say that one more time, please.
2 games. Over under 125 points total scored tomorrow between those 2 teams.
For those two games. Just those 2 games tomorrow.
Yeah, just the 2 games tomorrow.
Under
125?
Under. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What you think?
That's a heck of a lot of points, man.
That seems like a lot of points.
Yeah.
So if every team was to score 30 points, that would be 120. If you predict that the Rams and the Bucks game goes 31-34, that would theoretically be 65 points. And then the other game, we're looking at 30-31, something around in there, which would theoretically be another 31 points, making it 126. Bills have to score 30 if they're going to be
a lot. That's a lot of points
in Kansas City.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then 30 points is probably the Rams' threshold in order for them to be a winner tomorrow.
I think, yeah, I might, because I don't see them scoring too many points. I'm gonna go under.
Under? Okay.
I'm gonna go under. I don't see the Rams scoring too many points, to be honest. But that's just.
I'm going over. Now, over under 80 points scored in these 2 matchups today.
Over under 80, you said?
80 points total in these 2 matchups today.
Yeah, I gotta go over.
Over.
I'm going under. I think we're gonna get some struggles today.
Okay.
Colder weather. And then I think overall, the teams that run the ball the best today, I think we're gonna see a lot more field goals than we think.
Okay. All right. So since you started there, here's where I'm gonna go. We got 2 great games. I hear you. I like it. First game, we got the Bengals at the Titans, matchup of the week, according to Scott Extraordinaire. And then you got
my matchup.
That's what I said. And then you got 49ers at the Packers in the frozen tundra. That's gonna be a great game. Tomorrow, looking ahead a little bit, we got the Bucks versus the the Rams, and then obviously you got the Chiefs versus the Bills. But fellas, let's focus on today. Out of these 4 teams, who is the most important player, non-quarterback on the field today?
Well, I'm not playing this game with you.
Out of all 4 teams,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing this game with you. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like,
and say it. Mo. Go ahead, Mo. Go.
Who is it, Vic?
This is good live TV. I'm gonna say T. Higgins, Cincinnati wide receiver.
Oh, Nick, you just don't know the right answers. Mo's answer to this question, because there's a right and wrong answer to this question.
See, this is why
is Derrick Henry.
You might need to take that hat off because it looks like you struggled to put it on.
No, that hat's in the 5G frequency right now.
Sir, you see all that room in there? Hey, I showed up to the scene with my
you just lifting the front. On. You just lifting the front. The back might be stuck.
The back's not stuck.
Bro, that hat, Vic.
He can't put it all the way down. You see, he's on top.
No, but see, we
Victor, you down right now. You down 0-2 and nobody battling you.
Hey,
this is
if it turns out to be the most entertaining game, I'm gonna have both of y'all apologizing tomorrow morning.
All right, fine by me. Let's get to it, yo. Let's get to it. We're gonna make it a fast show so we can get out of here, get everybody time to get their snacks, get everything organized. Let's get to it. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. Over/under is 48. Plus minus is 3.5. Bengals, obviously, the underdogs. Bengals went 10-7 over this year. The Titans, they went 12-5 and earned that number 1 spot and a first-round bye. So this is their first game of the playoffs. Listen, man, I don't think I said this on a show just because I wasn't able to jump on any shows in the month of December, but the Titans are my Super Bowl pick for the AFC. I got the Titans coming out of the AFC. Spoiler alert. If you haven't jumped on the behind the scenes stuff with us, you wouldn't know that. So I'm making it official before they even play a game. I picked it about a month ago. The Titans, to me, are the ones that are making it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. And it is because you knew when we got to this day, they were going to be fully healthy, and fully healthy they are, gentlemen. Everybody is good to go. And the biggest news of information, obviously, is that Derrick Henry, 100% cleared. He is fully ready. They are not holding him back. He's getting maybe 25, maybe 30 carries. And I think that is I don't think it's going to be one of those situations, fellas, where is he going to be rusty? Is he going to have a bad game? I think he might have a slow first quarter, but you keep giving that man the ball, eventually the dam will break versus Cincinnati today. As for the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, big news, cleared concussion protocol. He's good to go. And defensive tackle Josh Tapu should be back for this game, which would give the Bengals about 5 to 6 defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen, which is going to be crucial if they want to slow down or at least stop somewhat this run game. They're going to need depth. They're going to need bodies who are fresh, who can give you full strength for 60 minutes. So I'm really curious, as Vic talked about, from a logistical standpoint, there is sort of a contradictory style to this fight, which always leaves for one or two things. Either we're going to have a great clash, or one of these teams' strength is going to just be too much to bear for this team's weakness. So, Vic, I see you nodding your head, ready to spit these bars. Floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's 110% correct right there. You know, like I said, the Bengals' pass offense against the Titans' pass defense is, going to be what is key for the Bengals. Will they be able to block though up front? And that, of course, we know that's the struggle for that, for the offense in terms of the offensive line unit. And then you have the Titans rushing offense against the Bengals pass rushing defense. So not only Derrick Henry, but they did a good job with Deontay Foreman. They still finished top 5 in the league even after Derrick Henry left week 8. So I think this matchup, it's going to be interesting if the Bengals can protect Joe Burrow. If they can protect Joe Burrow, they're going to pick apart this pass defense. All right, because T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are going to be running free all day long. If they can cover between Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry, I have 21 sacks and about 25 quarterback hits between the two. I mean, those guys, if you're watching the film, they're constantly in the backfield. So that's what I'm nervous about in terms of the Bengals, how they block Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry, even Bud Dupree, who has been in and out of the lineup. We know how he can, productive he can be with a pass rush. So that's going to be key for me. But I think that the Bengals are going to do enough with the tight ends, with CJ, with the running backs to kind of help in that protection and stuff like that. Because honestly, those three receivers is all Joe Burrow really needs to make this game, basically a win for the Bengals.
No, I mean, again, all great points. Germ, take it away here before I take it back. I know you got some key points you want to make about the trenches and just in general.
The pass rush and offensive line matchup in general, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that's the big focus here.
It's going to be very interesting to see what you do with the outside tackles. That's on both sides, though. It's not just on one side because Trey Hendricks has probably been one of the most productive guys we've seen, especially from that right end position this year. Coming off being consistent with initial pressure, being consistent just with pressure in general, but also he's a pretty solid run defender as well and good at setting the edge. So I look for that to be something key here for Cincinnati. Nate Davis, Ben Jones, and I can remember dude's name from the Rams that plays left guard.
Saffold, Rodgers Saffold right now is playing left guard.
Yes,
and Ben is playing right. Yeah. So it's a great interior.
That interior is one of the 3-4 best in football, and they have some of the best continuity. Derrick Henry does a lot of good things behind those three men. I just need everybody to understand if Cincinnati can't block those, can't find a way to penetrate in the A gap between Ben Jones, okay, each A gap, they're going to have a hard time, and they're going to move them sideways because it's going to be a lot of sideways motions, and they're going to allow Derrick Henry to pick and choose where he wants to go against this defense. The linebackers for Cincinnati overplay. They overflow in this particular moment. I'm going to say overflow, meaning they like to go way a little bit more toward the action rather than people being disciplined and staying in their gaps. So gap integrity is going to be important today against Derrick Henry as he returns. I think the jump cut Derrick Henry that we've seen early in the year will be there. He's had all this time to rest. He was on a historic pace. Even then, it took people 16 weeks just to catch up to his production or where he was at as far as carries. That's how many carries this guy was on pace to get this year. So that's going to be important. Cincy's rush defense, why I'm going to highlight this. We talked about the linebackers, talk about the interior guys. Your safeties are going to have to take perfect angles today.
Yes.
Because there are going to be some things that are going to get out of there. And if you do not take the proper angles, it will get ugly very quickly. You have to make sure you take proper angles. Rush defense is not excluding safeties and cornerbacks. Corners, I need you to help set the edge. Safeties, I need you to take the right angles. Linebackers, stay in your gaps. Collectively, that's what you're going to need in order for you to win this game. And the Titans pass offense. Listen, they struggle so much on offense to pass the ball sometimes. It is disgusting. You have Frisker, you have A.J. Brown, and you have Julio Jones. That's literally what their passing game is. And maybe they may use the running back occasionally with screens. If you have one job, there is no such thing as a play of 20 yards or more today. If you're Cincinnati, everything in front of you, make sure you do not allow Julio Jones and A.J. Brown to catch slants and go for 60 yards. That's not what you need today. You already got enough on your plate with this running game. Tennessee has lost 5 games this year. 4 of those 5 games, they've scored 13 points. So that means under 20 points, Cincinnati today is your key factor. When they've scored 24 or more, they haven't lost. And it's been pretty much handily for the most part. They only lost to the Jets, and they lost by 3. Ironically, Cincinnati lost to the Jets, and it was by 3.
Yeah.
The common opponent beat them in 2 separate ways. Cincinnati got beat because Cincinnati went to sleep. The Titans got beat because the Titans came out flat. Flat, going to sleep. That will be a factor in this game because when Cincinnati gets up, they coast. When Tennessee comes out slate, they keep sliding. So I want to see that who comes out and who shows up. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna make my pick now, and I'm gonna pass it to you.
Wait, no, don't make it yet. Don't make it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Don't make it yet because I got 1 point, and then we're gonna go around the horn and make the picks. So Jeremy, you made a lot of good points. To your point about Tennessee, the Bengals, at least Tennessee's passing. The Bengals, you know what? Before we go, Jeremy, what was the last thing you kind of came up with the Illuminati stat that you figured out? What was it about the Titans losing every game?
13 points was they lost 4 out of their 5 games by 13 points.
No, they scored only 13 points.
Yeah, I'm saying, but they lost because they scored 13 points only.
Yeah. So that's a little. They got some
4 out of your 5 games, you scored 13 points and you lose.
They either got a lot of dues they had to pay, and maybe now the dues are fully paid and ready to go. We'll see. I don't know. But to your point, the Bengals, nobody has given up more 300-yard passing this year than the Cincinnati Bengals pass defense. And I think if Tannehill, we are very critical of him. We are also pretty complimentary of him. And I think for the most part, we are to all players. But Tannehill is one of those guys that we are very fair towards in both our criticism and complimenting him and understanding who he is as a quarterback. We're just not going to hold him to that high standard that we may hold other quarterbacks. With that said, the Bengals pass defense don't have the type of defense where they can shut down average to above average when they hot pretty damn good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you're Tennessee, it's super important that you stick to the formula. One of the things, Jerm, you brought up earlier was what happens if the Titans are down 14-3 after the first quarter. And that's why I said when I started the show that Henry might get off to a slow start, in the first quarter. And if that happens, you still got to stick to the formula because if you're the Titans, usually when a team has, 1 through 52 are variables. This guy, this 53rd guy, he's the only constant. 99% of the time, that constant is a quarterback. In the Tennessee Titans example, it's Derrick Henry. So when the most important part, the most important ingredient was out, you still stuck to the formula.
Yes.
Now that he's back in, you better make sure you stick to the formula because that way all those things will open up. Like Jerm talked about, the Bengals defense, those linebackers have a tendency to overplay some things, over-pursue some things, be a little vulnerable to play action. And the one thing that Ryan Tannehill thrives in is play action over the middle passing. And I think if you look at Cincinnati, there's been a lot of times throughout the season where the middle of the field just becomes wide open. And that's a huge problem and a huge concern heading into this game. As far as the Bengals offense versus the Titans defense, I think the most important thing for the Bengals offense is 3 things. Number 1, manageable downs, manageable key downs. Huge part of this game today if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, because you don't want to put a situation for Zach Taylor where he might make a inadvised call to go for it in a 4th and short situation where they shouldn't be going for it. So number 1 is manageable downs. Number 2 and 3, the quick passing game and the screen game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Because I think if you're Joe, the quicker you're getting the ball out, the more you are recognizing their coverage, the less they are confusing you, the more likely you are to have success as the game goes on. And then that screen game will allow that aggressive defense to kind of slow up a little bit and maybe change some things and adjust some things and keep them a little off balance. Those are my keys. Let's go around the horn. Vic, final notes and your pick.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, getting that screen game involved with Joe Mixon, they do a good job balancing everything out from every level, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage, short, intermediate, long. They got everything in that offense. They're gonna have to get started because, like you said, that front seven for the Titans is so aggressive, especially with Jeffrey Simmons up the middle. So that screen game is gonna be very important. I think the Bengals pull it off. So far I'm 5-0 in my picks. Okay, just making sure I throw that out there. And I'm picking the Bengals again for this game. Maybe I'm overly excited about this young football team, but I think that they do enough to win this game. It's going to be a tight one, but I think it's going to be 31-27 Bengals.
Okay. 31-27 Bengals. Okay. Germ?
The interior teams that ran against Cincinnati this year very well, ironically, were Cleveland, who beat them twice, and they beat them the same way with the interior guys from guard to guard. Chubb rushed for 136, I believe, and Dearness rushed for 120 something, 123. It's not a coincidence that that's what happened there. It's also not a coincidence that Aaron Jones was the other 100-yard rusher this year against them. This is how you're going to beat Cincinnati. It's very simple. Around 14, 15 carries from your main guy, and then sprinkle in some of your other running backs just to give them a change of pace. Give me Tennessee. Derrick Henry doesn't need more than 20 carries in this game to pretty much annihilate Cincinnati on the interior. The interior is going to be too much. I think it's a more entertaining game, probably in the first half. I think that second half Derrick Henry push that we see every single year is what's going to be the turning point in the game. Give me Tennessee 24, Cincinnati. No, excuse me. Give me Tennessee 25 because we need more field goals to 16.
Yeah, I got 25-point theory, huh? It's that's a nice score.
So hold on, plus or minus 30 carries for the Titans to win this game.
Plus. If they run 80 plays, I need 40 of them to be runs. And why do I say 40? Because it's you gotta favor your mismatch.
Right.
I mean, I don't need AJ Brown with 10 catches in this game to win. He needs 5 or 6.
That probably means they're losing.
Correct. Tennessee, right. Don't get down 14-3. Something ignorant. Don't do that.
Bengals have to come out early. They have to come out early. 14, 17 points in the first.
I agree. But even if they do, I'm not panicking if I'm Tennessee. I am staying the course all the way. Here's my thing, right? I think the Bengals are going to get their butt whooped. I think the Bengals are going to be taught a football lesson today in grown man football. Shout out to Big Shot Ronnie C. Football maturity is a thing. It is a thing in most professional sports. I'm not saying that the Bengals are necessarily in that. You want to put them in that. I'm not going to argue with you either. But I think there have been moments throughout the year where Zach Taylor just didn't make the proper football decisions, or the Bengals weren't properly prepared. I think the one reason I mentioned the quick passing game, if that's not clicking today for the Bengals, it's going to spell trouble. Because I think where the Titans are going to take advantage is they're going to use all type of different pre-snap looks, and they are going to cause havoc. Remember, this is uncharted territory for this Bengals team. They're going on the road in the winter against a physical football team in a very good football environment, a team that is hungry for this to see this team succeed and take that next step finally because of all that they displayed throughout the regular season, the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I think for Cincinnati, it is going to be a lesson today in grown man football. I think they're going to give Joe a lot of looks and they're going to confuse him, but more than confusing Joe, it's not necessarily about Joe. It's 2 things. They are going to disrupt the communication between the offensive line and the communication between quarterback and wide receiver. And that is going to lead to miscommunication on offense. Quick maths over there. And it's going to lead to some problems. I think it's going to lead to some turnovers. I think that there's a potential for these floodgates to open up. And Cincinnati just ends up chasing this game, and they find themselves, they're going to be in some quicksand. So give me the Tennessee Titans. Shout out to Mike Vrabel. This football team, they went from high school jocks to professional ball players in about 3 seasons. And I give Mike Vrabel all the credit in the world because he's got some very outstanding personalities and take outstanding any way you want to take it in that locker room. Give me the Titans. 1 win down, 1 win to go. Give me the Titans 35-16.
Oh, Mo, stop. Ugh. That'd be interesting. I think Cincinnati can pass their way back into a game, but I guess we'll find out. Ugh, 35-16. Damn.
Now,
Jeremy. Wait, did Jeremy give his prediction?
Yeah, he said 25-16.
Oh, okay.
25-14. One or the other.
Oof. That should be interesting.
Don't give me that look, Jerm. Don't give me that look. I stated what I stated. It has been declared and recorded. All right. Next game on the docket. You got the 10-7 San Francisco looking for gold 49ers against the 13-4 number 1 seed. Coldest man in the galaxy, somewhat. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, number 1 seed. Over-under is 47. The Packers are 6-point favorites. They are a touchdown favored over the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers, for the record, has not beaten San Francisco in the postseason. The last time they played was that 2019 season, pre-COVID, well, at least before COVID reached America, kind of. Anyways, they got their butt whooped in that game. I mean, it was 37-20, and it wasn't even that close. Injury report for the 49ers, Nick Bosa, he's good to go, cleared concussion protocols. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't even listed on the injury report. And then Jordan Lewis and Ambry Thomas are questionable. For Green Bay, a lot of good news here for Green Bay. Stick with me a little bit, fellas. Zadarius Smith and Whitney Merciless, they are back. They don't expect to play 100% of the snaps, but they will at least provide some sort of relief. Billy Turner, inside offensive lineman, he is ready to go, ready to rock. That is a huge boost to a team that wants to be physical, wants to run the ball. Speaking of running the ball, Aaron Jones wasn't even listed on the injury report this week, which tells me that his knee is fully cleared. That's great news. DeAndre Campbell, starting linebacker, hasn't missed a game all season. It was up in the air a little bit. He will be playing. And of course, Randall Cobb is also back. They got a lot of names. And of course, the big news, the big news, Aaron Rodgers' toe is fine. I'm just playing. The 2 biggest pieces of news, Jair Alexander should be ready to rock, and David Bakhtiari, he was on load management, but he did practice Wednesday, which to me is the most telling sign that he will be playing and he will be ready to roll. Fellas, heavyweight fight, 15 rounds we are hoping for. 49ers, Packers, Shanahan, LaFleur, Jimmy G, Aaron Rodgers, Deebo Samuel. Nobody really on the 49ers comparable, on the Packers comparable. Germ.
Talk about it.
So first, Deebo. Deebo is in the hero star role for this offense. He does a lot of stuff. He can line up in the backfield. He can line up in line next to the tight end. He can line up in the slot. He can line up as the X, as the flanker. It doesn't make a difference. He can come in motion. He can do whatever. And even off of a jet sweep, he will throw the ball. So you have a lot of wrinkles there that you have to prepare for just off of him alone. If you're Green Bay, this is the one guy you don't really have a matchup for. It's not like you can just commit a safety to him or commit somebody to him, and that's going to be enough. What you're going to have to do is be very, very, very cautious in situations of what San Francisco likes to do, how they want to use them, and things like that. The other part of this is incompletions for Aaron. Aaron notoriously has 5 to 12 incompletions a game. These incompletions, though, do not signify him having a great game or a good game. What they signify is incompletions from him throwing the ball away or incompletions from a drop or incompletions from simply him throwing the ball in the dirt. And yes, throwing it in the dirt, I'm going to classify different as throwing it away right now.
It's throwing it away, yes.
Why? Because Aaron has a lot of different situations where you'll see him misfire and you'll notice that it's on purpose because of where he's placing the ball. Aaron's ball placement when he has intent is elite. Aaron's ball placement in situations he's throwing the ball away is a hair off, spot off, things like that. What I want to see today is if you're San Francisco, Aaron Rodgers' passing yards has no bearing on the football game. They have no bearing.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, he can throw for 344 yards and he'll only score 20 points. I want you to pay attention to the scoreboard. Make them kick field goals, tighten up in the red zone, and when you get a chance to sack him, you sack him. After that, push the tackles into him. Condense the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. Make him move in the pocket. Do the little things that make him uncomfortable, and you'll be in a good position at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. Because that's where you get your strip fumbles and your strip sacks, and that's where you get your game-changing plays from all of that draft capital that you've invested into on the front end of your defense. Last but not least, smash mouth football. When the 49ers run that pitch play and they get it around in the C gap, it is a four-way go. He can continue to go outside. He can take another step and cut back inside. He can hit the C gap, or he can cut back completely and go the opposite way. That play is unstoppable if you do not get penetration. So we need for Green Bay's defense to fly around and make plays today. Zadarius Smith being back today is going to be very, very big. But you know what? I'm running right at him. I want to run at Zadarius Smith today. I want to hit him. I want to welcome him back to football in a disrespectful way, and I want to put him on his ass.
Okay. I like it.
Jimmy G, this is not the game that I need you to come out here being slaw as hell. I need you to be efficient and effective. If you do what you did last week against Dallas, you will be on the couch, period. This is not that. This is not that. Green Bay is really simple. If you can run the ball and compliment Aaron Rodgers, you're going to win the game. If you can't run the ball and compliment Aaron Rodgers, you have Devontae Adams, who will get open and you will scheme him open consistently. This may be an 11 to 13 catch game for him because if I'm San Francisco, I'll give you that little 5-yard dump off, but you're getting hit all night.
Yeah.
Passing it to Vic.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup where these teams are a little bit more similar in the way they approach the game, right? You got two teams that can run the ball very well, and then you have two teams that can attack the short and intermediate part of the field very well, right? The difference is that you got Aaron Rodgers versus Jimmy Garoppolo and Devontae Adams versus, I don't know, Deebo Samuel. You know, who's the number one receiver for the 49ers now? Deebo is going to be part of that running game. Deebo is tremendous, but will the 49ers have what it takes to stop that connection, probably the best connection in football right now? Yes. And for the last 5 to 10 years, arguably. That's going to be the key to this game for me, because, again, they're both going to run the ball very well. Even like Jerm said, even with Zadarius back, Jair back, they just punched them. The 49ers are going to have to run the ball effectively with Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel to get anything out of this game, to be honest with y'all. I think as much as I would like to see Jimmy move on, and I'm a big Jimmy fan, he has reached a cap. He has reached a level where he's probably just a B player, at 85 right now. You know what I mean? So
yes,
you can't go up against the 99s of the league like that. You know, like the elite quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, despite some of the things that he has. So Green Bay, Lambeau Field, cold weather, Jimmy, messed up thumb. I'm going to go with the 49ers, the Packers in this game. I don't think the 49ers even keep it close for the most part. I'll go with the Packers. I'll leave my prediction for after your run, Mo.
That's all right. I mean, I ain't got much to say, honestly, on this game because y'all broke it down perfectly. So, Jerm, go ahead.
I just want to know one thing.
Uh-huh.
You believe in Joe Burrow and I get it. You don't believe in your guy Jimmy to be able to make this competitive?
He's reached the cap, Jerm.
But so is Aaron Rodgers. So
but that's his cap was 99. Like this is a 99.
Well, his cap is not a 99. His cap is like a 93 because he doesn't do the things he needs to do consistently.
Yes, but this is not the matchup. This is not the matchup for that.
Yeah, I'm football disrespect. Anyway, the point I'm making is Jimmy can do enough to make it where it needs to be. Where Jimmy gets his B rounded up to an A is the fact that they have A+ players in other positions that are going to make this interesting. Green Bay is pretty much, you have to be able to stop them in situations with Randall Cobb, and you have to keep them to minimal gains on first down. First down is the key down. We've seen Green Bay get smacked in the mouth against New Orleans, where they were completely shut down, and then we've seen them lose in a shootout against Minnesota, which they lost to Minnesota because Minnesota had a game where they were bound. They had enough rushing yards to complement Kirk Cousins throwing for 350 plus. So you have that situation on your hands here where you're seeing them lose in a shootout and you're seeing them lose from being able to be shut down. There's a lot of things here for Green Bay. There's a lot of yards left on the field against Green Bay. That's going to be a key here. San Francisco is more physical than most teams they played this year. San Francisco should be able to hit them in the mouth consistently for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Where Green Bay is going to struggle is, I don't care who's back. You still got to stop the run. And first game back in the cold, and you got to tackle bricks.
Yeah, but you could say in return for the Packers run game too, bro. Like in order for them to keep Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, and all those guys like honest, they're gonna run the ball and they run it very effectively with two very strong running backs as well. So like it's very similar the way they come.
Is Fred Warner playing, Mo? By the way,
yeah.
If Fred Warner is playing, it's gonna be interesting for Aaron Jones.
Yeah, they have to run. They like the 49ers front seven is gonna be key to this game.
100%.
Because offensively, I don't think Jimmy's just going to keep up. It's too cold. His thumb, his sprained shoulder.
But they didn't even list him on the injury report.
Well, I mean, he's hurt though.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? So I think that since he practiced on Wednesday, they take you off the report. You know what I mean? But like, this is a cold weather game. Like last time I checked, it's going to be around 0 degrees. You know what I mean? So it's going to, like, if he has to pass the ball, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? And if the 49ers find a way to contain Devontae Adams, right, and get that pass rush going, then they have a chance in this game. Well, we'll see.
The last time, so Mo, real quick, do you mind?
Go ahead.
Real quick.
I don't have much to say, so go ahead.
Well, no, so the last time the Packers and 49ers played, I don't think Jimmy threw for more than 200 yards.
Yeah, but we were in San Francisco. We were in San Francisco.
The playoff game?
Yes.
Weren't we in San Francisco?
I'm not sure.
If we're not, we were in San Francisco. If we were in if they were over there in San Fran, this is a better game, a tighter game. And I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, but
I'm just saying running the ball translating goes anywhere.
Right, but then what if they have to make those passes?
Jimmy, in the 2019 AFC Championship game, Jimmy Garoppolo,
oh boy,
threw for 77 yards.
So, and they beat Aaron
6
Rodgers.
of 8. And they won 37-20.
That's not only ugly for Jimmy, but ugly for Aaron Rodgers too.
But
do they have the same pass rush? Do they have the same pass rush?
But that's the thing, Vic. That's the reason why I'm not too big on the Jimmy situation, because Jimmy is winning games without being as effective as you may need him to be, because you have so much stuff going on and so much dressing around some of these playmakers that you have. So it's going to be interesting.
Like he makes some situationally bad plays, but then in other situations he's making great plays. Like we saw in that game that end of the season, that that got him into the playoffs. Like he had a shitty drive, but then the next drive he was throwing like he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And so that inconsistency, that he has, again, it's going to separate him from being good to the greats. You know what I mean? And Aaron Rodgers, like on the opposite side, he can pass all day long, but then when a situation arises where he needs to make a play, he's not making those. But to me, it's against tougher football teams. I don't think the 49ers are a tougher football team for this scenario today specifically.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong, though, to be honest.
Very interesting. I mean, again, like I think from a logistical standpoint, you guys broke it down perfectly. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting for me in this game is going to be the pace of the game, because on the one hand, I can see this game ending very quickly. I can see this being a quick game. I can see this being an efficient game. I can see this being a rather exciting game, and the final score being like 22-19. You know, just because both offenses are going to be efficient, both offenses are going to be safe with the football, both offenses are going to have plays called that are going to lead to the clock constantly running. And so I think there's a very good chance this game, as long as the penalties stay clean and the refs do a good job of just letting them play through pettiness, I think this is going to be a fast game. And believe it or not, that fast-paced type of game kind of favors San Francisco, because a shorter game means less throws, less points, and that favors Jimmy G.
Yes.
Overall, though, I just think the Packers are healthy. The Packers are right on time. I think there's some, it's a good opportunity for Aaron Rodgers to get rid of a negative playoff stigma against him and beat this football team. And if he's going to ever beat them, it's going to be with this squad that he has. We know the 49ers got Debo, and they certainly got Kittle. They got Devontae Adams. And I think when you look at Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, they give them that factor of, hey, we are here to match your physicality today that they didn't necessarily have 2 years ago. And I think that's a big factor as well. So I'm going to go Green Bay. I'm taking the Packers 25-20. A good, fast-paced, entertaining game. Vic, did you give a score?
No, not yet. To piggyback a little bit off of that, I don't even know if George Kittle is healthy enough, bro, to be honest with you. Whether, I think the injuries are either catching up or he's hurt at the moment. You know what I mean? He doesn't look that explosive. He's not getting up the field and stuff like that. So, again, this cold weather game, it's tough. Like I said, I'm going with the Packers. I think they'll just have a little too much. And I think I'm going 27-16 for this game.
Okay. Germ?
San Francisco, 29-22.
Wow.
If Rodgers, he's so up and down. It's tough to really explain to people.
His stats don't have a bearing on the game, and that's something that I want everybody to understand.
That's tough to relate.
They won a lot. Well, here's the thing: he had 344 yards against the Bengals. They scored 23 damn points,
right?
And they should have lost the game.
Yeah.
You can't.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great point.
That's not a situation where his yards are transitioning into wins. Right. It just means you got possessions and you made a couple of throws here and there.
What was
the score, Germ? What was the score, Germ?
29-22.
25-22.
29.
No. The Bengals Packers.
Oh, 25-16.
No, 25-22. Bengals versus Packers in earlier this season.
Oh, yeah. It was 20. It was 23-20.
I thought it was 25-22.
Hold on, I'm about to look right now. Hold on.
Point is, I'm picking 25 because of your points, Germ, about him with they're gonna get yards.
25-22. You're right.
Are they gonna score touchdowns? So that's why I'm going with the same. You know what? F it. I'll make it 25-22. I'm going with the same score. 25-22.
It's hard to relay this to the people because there's been so many situations where we've seen Aaron Rodgers make some big plays. It's in certain situations that the media kind of take, but there has been. I mean, I'm gonna just go to the championship game last year as an example. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Brady had 3 interceptions, but what if I told you Brady only had 3 bad throws in that game?
Yeah, exactly.
But Aaron Rodgers had 10 bad plays.
No
only
interception.
One was an interception.
That's right. One. Yeah.
That led to that Scotty Miller throw.
Yes.
Okay. So, oh shit, Brady sucked. He had 3 interceptions. Rodgers only had 1. No. When you watch the film, he missed a lot of plays in that game. So, numbers is only 50% of the story. And so to Germ's point, when if Rodgers has to make certain plays in certain situations, it's very 50-50 with him.
Yeah. My closing point for this game and for this show, my closing point for this game, the Packers got to get physical. My closing for the whole show, for the Bengals, their most important player is DJ Reader today. For the Titans, outside of Derrick Henry, their most important player is Kevin Byard and who's the other name I put? AJ Brown. AJ Brown, I think, can dominate today. Jerm, closing thoughts?
You guys just make sure you guys tune in. Tomorrow we're gonna do views and dues. We'll probably do it around the same time. Actually, do you guys want to do it at noon tomorrow?
We can do it at noon.
We'll do a noon start time. Go to about 1:15-ish.
Yeah.
And talk about some different things. We can talk some football, go over some headlines, stuff like that. Shouts out to everybody on the scene. 300 subscribers on YouTube, trying to get more, trying to turn that 300 to 3,000, 300 million, 5,000.
Turn that 2 to the 4 to a 6 to an 8.
Something like that. But we're trying to continue to grow this thing. So we appreciate everybody who's liked, shared, and subscribed. Make sure you guys tell a friend, tell your best friend, even if they're not your friend. Tell everybody to come on in. We are welcoming all newcomers. And with that being said, enjoy these games. Make sure you guys do not let the television tell your vision, because you're going to hear some narratives today when it comes to Cincy and these games. I already know what's going to happen with these games today. It's going to be a lot of narratives. It's going to be written and drawn to conclusions based on certain outcomes. So we'll be prepared for those. And that's all I got for you.
Leave your predictions on the thread. When the thread goes up, I want to see everybody's predictions as well. A lot of folks participate in that anyway. But yeah, thanks. I mean, just enjoy these games. Yeah. Again, I'm excited for this game coming up. So,
amen to that, bro. Amen to that. Shout out to everybody on the scene, like Jerm said. Views from the 22. Enjoy these games. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Take us home, True.
2-2. See you guys tomorrow, noon Eastern.
Yeah.